What is up, guys? Archon tonight we're bringing you guys another YouTube video. In today's video I'm going to be discussing the new patch notes for Modern Warfare. Yes, you are not mistaken, this is a update video to the last video that I did. If you're looking for the claymore changes and the move speed changes, though those are still relevant on the last video, but the 725 nerfs are not relevant. You need to watch this video if you want to see the new ranges on the 725. I went ahead and I did testing again, the same way I did before. So without further ado, let's talk about the patch notes that should be on your screen now. The riot shield is getting changed. They are fixing it to where they now take explosive damage in certain situations, and now when you use a stim, the riot shield won't just get stuck on your back. They also changed the FAL assault rifle. They made it more consistent, lowered the recoil on it, so now it feels more like a laser beam, which when I was using it before the patch happened, I was thinking to myself, wow, the FAL is just terrible. Like, this gun is horrendous for it being a single shot gun and needing like 4 or 5 bullets to kill somebody at pretty much all ranges, even headshots. Like, it's terrible. So I'm glad to see that gun getting some type of buff for its recoil. The other assault rifles, though, did get nerfed. They got hit with the hip fire spread nerf, so they're not as effective up close anymore. The M4A1 in general got hit with a nerf to its headshot count, so now instead of whatever it was before, it's actually I think 1 more bullet, which is huge because the M4A1 is still really strong even after the nerfs from the last video. The 725 finally got its nerf, which I'll show you guys comparison footage. So don't worry, the 725 is nerfed now. You will need to be a little bit closer than what you were in the last video to get the one-shot kills. The slug rounds are still pretty stupid, which again we'll go over. Trying to think if there's anything else. Picadilly got fixed. Picadilly, if you guys aren't aware, on Domination is literally the worst map in Call of Duty history by far, because the A spawn is so far down a narrow death funnel that you can never get out of it most times if the enemy team knows what they're doing and they're competent. You would used to have somebody who would spawn at C, they'd go sit up in the shop window and they could watch the arcade so you couldn't get out on the right side, and then you'd have them also be able to see like down the middle of the map towards the A spawn, so they could just shoot you if you tried to come, or as soon as you spawned in they could just shoot you before you even get out to the left side of the map. So I'm glad to see Picadilly getting some adjustments for Domination. From what I understand, B flag is now moved from the fountain all the way over near the center buses, and C has also been moved back I think a little bit. I haven't had a chance to play Picadilly on Domination, so I'm just taking the word of, those that I've seen play it, or heard play it anyway. So Picadilly should be better on Domination, guys. A, I think, still does need some adjustments on the spawn. I don't think you should be spawning all the way in the furthest corner of the map. I think that's a little ridiculous for that type of map, especially like I said, because it is a death funnel down there. I think you should be able to spawn more times than not in the right side building or the arcade. But is what it is. So without further ado, let's go ahead and look at the comparisons. So there is 4 perspectives on the screen. I did this in split screen mode. Just know that top and bottoms are connected for both left and right. So that means the old 725 is on the left and the new 725 is on the right. The tests are done in a similar order. I believe I looked at both the min 1-shot range and then the max 2-shot range for both guns. So know that even though the tests look a little bit out of sync, they are the exact same tests. I haven't had to do split screen editing like this in a while, so I apologize for the out of syncness of it. But it was going to be really hard for me to make them kind of converge at the same time. I didn't have the original footage for the original 725 clip for some reason with the old version. Anyways, let me know what you guys think down below about the 725 nerfs. They are noticeable. Like, you can definitely see on screen that the new 725 just doesn't have that reaching power that the old one did. I also decided to go ahead and do the test with the slug rounds for the old 725. It's a little out of sync for that. You'll be able to see the new 725 slug round test after the split screen ends. Do keep that in mind. I mean, honestly, I think that the hammer variant is still really good. That's the short barrel version. I think that version didn't really get hit at all. Even though I think they nerfed like the baseline range of the gun itself and not the attachments, which would have probably been the better solution. The hammer does have a little bit of a small nerf to its range. I won't say that it feels the exact same as it did before, but you can still run and gun with it pretty effectively, and it's still really good up close. Sometimes you have to 2-shot instead of 1-shot. This will be the slug rounds part 2 for the new 725, where I just test the hip fire on it just to see if I can hip fire slug somebody across map like I could before with the old 725 pre-patch. But yeah, I think the 725 will be in a good place now. I don't think people are going to be calling for too many more nerfs for it. If they do call for more nerfs, it will have to come out of the actual attachment itself, I believe. There's no reason to nerf the base variant again, because all you're going to do is hit the sawed-off variant, which is supposed to be good up close anyway. As you can see, the slug rounds are still pretty strong. You can snipe somebody from like a mile away. It's just a little bit more inconsistent. I find that you're basically going to hit them with the slug rounds consistently where you used to be able to just one-shot without the slug rounds on the old 725. That's going to be the big thing. Then I'm doing the M4A1 testing for hipfire. As you can see, we back up a bit, and I try to unload all 30 bullets, try to keep it down, and I only hit a couple times. So the hipfire nerf is definitely noticeable at mid to long range. I do know some people were getting lucky and able to kill from that range. Now we're going to look at the headshot nerf. I believe it's 3. 2, 3. So yeah. So it must have been 2 shots at maybe it's a long range nerf and not a close range nerf. That might actually be what the headshot multiplier changes, is that it's a longer range nerf, would be my guess. I mean, it still seems like it's 3 from there as well, so that's what, mid to short. I wouldn't exactly say it's short. I'd say it's probably at the breaking point of mid. And then that's the FAL change on screen now. I definitely like the recoil pattern. I think that's a lot better for that gun, especially since you have to spam it to get kills. Like, it is pretty much a laser beam now, whereas before, I don't have footage of it, but it used to shoot like up into the air. It was really bad. It used to kick like a mule. As you can see, I like test the spray pattern on the wall. So that's without me, I believe, pulling down on the trigger. You can see it's kind of a little wide, and this is a pistol comparison, just because I felt like I'd try it. Pistol's a little less accurate than the FAL now. Anyways, guys, what do you guys think of the changes? Let me know down below, and I will see you guys on the next video. Later.